Look, I gave you a sense of how I grew up. I'm the least interested person in entitlement. I believe entitlement leads to anxiety and depression. I think entitlement is poison. However, there are way too many business owners in this room that deploy very quick entitlement on their employees based on age discrimination without factoring in the opportunities that 24-year-olds have to make money today. Just because you worked for $9 an hour at Safeway doesn't mean they should when they know how to make $30,000 a year making TikToks. I understand what you would like the kids to do for your business, but that is not the reality of the world. Until business owners wake up to the options that the internet has created and start really thinking about how they manage, not to be soft and fluffy. I hated Gen Zer as much as everybody else, but I also hate boomers because I know 40,000 boomers that are lazy as fuck. This is not a generational thing. This is a human by human thing. The difference is when I was growing up in the game, if I had the options to make money that the internet now provides for me when I was 11 years old, fuck graduating college, I wouldn't have graduated middle school. We can't fight reality. There's way too many people in this space, because I watch it a little bit. I can't speak to anybody here individually other than I saw some of the people hashtag this event and I looked at their accounts and paid attention how much they're posting, and you really aren't posting. We can't fight reality. We can't fight the reality of where our customer's attention is. I understand that you've done direct mail and you're comfortable with it and you don't know how to run Facebook ads. It doesn't change the fact that Facebook ads perfectly destroy direct mail perfectly every day of the week. I understand you're comfortable with it, but it doesn't mean it's the truth. I understand you worked hard and grinded and you expect everybody to do that, but your whole I walked 10 miles and 13 inches of snow shit doesn't mean anything. We have to reverse engineer the reality of the market. That doesn't mean be soft. We have businesses to run. As a matter of fact, I'll go the other way. The amount of people that have labor in their stores every day and there's nothing going on should be required. If I could control every business here, I would have every person in our stores that has downtime producing TikToks and Instagram and YouTube instead of standing there waiting for somebody to come in. That's a for instance, right? This doesn't have to be hard. This has to be a reframe of thinking. When you hear 15 a day, it gets real scary. When you know that you have unlimited employees just hanging around waiting for people to fucking come into the store, all of a sudden you get real excited about, we could do 40 a day if I get Carl and Sally to do some shit. And all of a sudden, you're not pissed that they're on the phone DMing trying to hook up tonight. You're pumped that they're on the phone making some content to drive your fucking business. "2023 is not 2015, it's not 2009, it's definitely not 2000, and looking around, it's definitely not 1994. We have to adapt, mentally. The problem is the mainstream media and social media are doing a phenomenal job of talking about negativity and what's wrong. Just so everybody knows, fear sells. Most of the parents in this room use fear to control what they want their kids to do. It's how humans are wired. The problem for me is I got lucky in the DNA game and I have the greatest mom in the world and a lot of great circumstances that made me the reverse. I look at everything I just talked about, like if I'm sitting in this crowd listening to this, I'm pumped, I wanna run through a wall and like take everyone's money. If you tweak your perspective on how the world's operating, and instead of buying into the propaganda for control of your mind, you look at the optimism that these tools can create for you. If all of a sudden you look at your employees like your teammates, literally, I'm so affected by this. If you look at your employees, I have 2,000 employees at VaynerMedia alone. I genuinely think I work for them. I swear on my children's health. I work for them. Of course you do. If you're a great leader and you want to build something meaningful, you work for them. I was raised by a dad who taught me the reverse. That's why I know the difference. And I used to be mad at my dad, but then I got kind of like a little bit older and realized my dad grew up in the Soviet Union, where the country controlled everything and the employees stole everything. The whole country ran on the black market. Literally, this is the first, I'm so pumped I mentioned it earlier. So it's my birthday, and I'm going to the liquor store, and I'm super sad. No, it's not my birthday today. I'm going back to the story. But it was my birthday a couple of weeks ago, so if you want to clap it up, I'll take it. So it's my fucking 14th birthday, I'm driving to the liquor store. As you may be able to tell by the way I'm talking, I talk all the time. My dad does not talk. We're completely the opposite. We live 45 minutes from the liquor store because my dad wanted to have land because he likes cows and pigs and shit. So we're 45 minutes from the liquor store, driving on Route 78 in New Jersey to the liquor store. My dad says no words. I'm talking a mile a minute, like, I'm coming in, Dad, and like, wait till you see what I got. I'm gonna sell every bottle of wine. Like, I'm like hyped. Even, you know, like I didn't realize I was gonna get paid $2 an hour at this point. We pull up to the store after 45 minutes. He says not one word. He turns to me and he goes, keep an eye on the employees. They like to steal. That's what my dad taught me. I grew up in that environment. I grew up in an environment where I watched an owner be in conflict with his employees. And then I've run businesses for 25 years where I've done the reverse. I'm an investor in over 500 companies and watch closely. I'm on tons of boards. I'm watching, this is my passion. If you cannot deploy empathy and compassion for your employees, I once said something to my dad, he brought it up this weekend actually. I said, Dad, if everybody who worked for you was you, they wouldn't work for you. I tell a lot of my friends who struggle with their employees, I'm like, I had a buddy who's like, I just want them to work as hard as me. I'm like, then give them equity in the business, equal to you. We have to reframe this conversation. You have to make it enjoyable and interesting, not because you're soft, but because you want to make money. I'm not asking you to be nice and reverse engineer them and be compassionate because I'm Mother Teresa. I'm telling you because I want you to build what you want professionally. You're out of options. Yes, tons of people are about to get fired. Tons. You do not have a great resignation on your hand next year. You will have more overqualified people apply for your business next year than you have in the last 10 years. That's good. But if you don't change the culture in every one of your stores, it's not gonna mean anything. It's gonna be a short-term blip and it's not gonna mean anything. You'll have no retention. The second those highly qualified people can get a different job to pay more, they're out. And more importantly, while you've got those qualified people, they can, if you have a good culture, they're gonna affect the kids who might be your future managers. And so I highly recommend you get off of your high horse on this issue. We are combative with our employees. And again, I'm talking in generalization, but this is very common. And I just think we have to rethink it. You're not being soft. You're not over-pandering. You're not conforming to Gen Z ways. You're not eating a fucking blue pill or red pill. You're not doing that shit. You're just trying to run a business. And I'm telling you right now, the amount of 18 to 22-year-olds who are wildly aware that they can make the same amount of money just making TikToks and making ads, or going to thrift stores and flipping shit, or doing Amazon Prime drop shipping, or a million other, they're not lazy, they have options. And we have to accept that, and I highly recommend you take a step back on this issue, because between marketing and management, if you really dial this and look at it slightly different, it can have a tremendous impact on your business. A tremendous impact.